The reason I am completely obsessed with Jessica Chastain is because I met and interviewed her for the Tree of Life, and I've never interviewed someone that was so humble and so sweet and so nice. And I don't just want her to win because she was nice to me, but I really loved. I thought her performance in The Help to me is, I mean, Octavia Spencer is fantastic and is going to win, but Jessica Chastain to me was, her character is the oddball, and she does something different than everybody else does in that film, and it's interesting with Melissa McCarthy because it's very rare that a comedic performance of that caliber and that style gets nominated at the Academy Awards. I think the last time that kind of performance was nominated was Bridget Jones with Renee Zellweger. They usually shun that kind of over-the-top comedy, so I mean it's a big deal that she got nominated for that film, which was one of the most successful films of 2011. But I do think that Octavia is going to win, even though, as Mark and I were talking about earlier, this is a category where if there's an upset, and throughout history, you've seen upsets in this category.
It will happen here. I mean, if you think back to Marissa Tomei, and that was a comedy performance. You think back to Goldie Hawn, that was a comedy performance. And so if there's a shocker, it will be here, and it will be Melissa McCarthy, because she creates such a complete characterization within the confines of this raucous comedy, and she is the character ultimately we care for the most. We care for that budding romance with that air marshal. We don't want that plain plan. We want them to live happily ever after. So if there's a shocker, it'll be Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. Even though Octavia Spencer would be, I think, the obvious choice.
Yeah, McCarthy is my shocker pick, even though Octavia Spencer is the safe choice. I also want to say Janet McTeer and Albert Nobbs, she outperformed really close, I thought, in her performance. But with McCarthy, like Mark hit it on the nail, or on the head, rather, that, her character, it's not about, stealing scenes in the comedy. The way her character arc progresses, and she knows who she is. This is who I am. This is how I live my life. And then you have a greater appreciation for her more than you do some of the other characters in the film.
But the interesting thing to me is looking at this category, we were talking about comedy, Janet McTeer is actually the only non-comedic performance of the nominees. They're all really considered comedy. I mean, they're all funny in their own way, and I think Janet McTeer, if you were to rank them, she has the least chance of winning, and she's actually the only previous nominee there as well. All the rest of them are first-time nominees. And I think the only way that what they're talking about, if Melissa McCarthy does win, is that if enough people were to vote for Jessica Chastain for The Help and for Octavia, that would split the vote like we were talking about, and that's how Melissa McCarthy could win. Or it could be opposite if people vote